talk some Jacksonville State softball now, as we are delighted to be joined by the head softball coach heading into her first year leading the Gamecocks, Coach Julie Boland. Good morning, Coach. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Softball season is here. I know you guys have been working hard in the fall and the off season and through practice beginning in January. But just as you get ready to lead this team, I know you've been around the team as an assistant coach for many, many years. But just as you get ready for your first season as head coach, how are you approaching that?
Yeah, Chase, I'm super blessed to have this opportunity to be in this position. And like you said, our girls are working extremely hard. I've changed some things up from Coach McGinnis, who I was blessed to work under for 22 years. I actually played for her. So I understand what this program is about, what the standards are, the expectations are. And preparing for the season, I'm just holding our ladies to the same standards, setting high expectations on them, making sure that they are doing the right things on and off the field, because I truly think if we can train as champions off the field, it will translate on the field. So kind of the same things that Coach McGinnis has always taught me as a player, as a coach, as a human being. We're keeping those same standards and same expectations.
We'll get into more of the specifics on the team in a minute, but just kind of big picture on the 2025 Jacksonville State softball team. What do you like most about this team heading into the year?
I think their energy. I think they're hungry. It's a different hunger than we've had in the past couple years. This team is super excited to get on the field with one another to play against somebody else. They've got a different hunger about them, energy about them. They're ready to prove something. We've worked a lot on earning the pride back to wear the Gamecocks across our chest. And they're ready to show what they've got as a whole.
So, who are some players that Jacksonville State fans should watch and pay attention to as the season gets ready to start?
I would say, Chase, the key players are always the pitchers, right? The pitchers, the game revolves around pitching. Our pitchers are all returners, so I'm excited to have them back in the circle. And then I would say keep an eye on our freshmen. We're going to have some young players out there that we're going to count on to be impact players. So we're excited about them, and I think they're the ones that are bringing that fresh, new energy to the team.
Would you say this is more of a veteran team, more of a younger team, a good mix? How would you describe that part of it?
I would say a good mix. We're about half and half. Our infield is going to be young. Our outfield are returners. And our pitchers are returners. So it's going to be a really good mix out there.
As far as the pitching staff goes, who are the ones you'll be counting on in the circle?
So we have returning Kat Carter, who was an all-conference player last year. So we're counting on her. She'll be a senior for us this year. Everybody knows her. The conference opponents know her, so it'll be a very interesting matchup with her. Julia Holmes, she's a junior for us this year. She had an outstanding freshman year. She took a little step back last year, but I think she's ready to go again this year as well. So those two for sure are the ones to watch.
You guys will get it started on Friday down in Jacksonville, Florida, with the River City leadoff with Jacksonville and North Florida. Talk about just kind of now preparing for games this week, with it being game week, and then the opponents you'll face there in Jacksonville and North Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we've been practicing against ourselves for so long. We're excited to just play anybody else. The coaches, now we know that they're old conference foes. So Jacksonville, North Florida, they were in our conference 2 years ago. So we understand the way that they play and who we're going up against. So it's going to be very exciting to see where we stack against them.
As far as Conference USA goes, I know you'll have a while before you get into CUSA play, but just based off what you saw last year and everything, what is Conference USA like when it comes to softball?
Right, yeah, it's an exciting conference to be in. The level of play is elevated. Everybody, it's cutthroat every single weekend. Of course, the top teams that we're going to go against is Liberty, Western Kentucky. They're year in, year out, very, very competitive. Not only in our league, but nationally. They make regionals. consistently. So it's going to be a dogfight. It's a conference that is tough, but I believe that we're tough as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun run.
And I know you guys have a chance to compete as well. And I know you're, as coaches and players do, you take one game at a time. But you're in the Rocket City Showcase coming up later this month. You'll play Alabama, Mississippi State, Auburn, North Alabama, James Madison, East Tennessee. Like that's tough. Like talk about just kind of your schedule and how you approach that. Obviously, wanting to be playing your best softball as you get into conference play and in May.
Right. As a team as a whole, we have a goal to play in postseason. So that means we have to play against the teams that we're going to see in postseason regionals. So like you said, we take it one game at a time, but we also want to keep the whole picture, the big picture in mind. And what an awesome tournament in Huntsville. The growth of the sport is just amazing. And for them to put on this kind of tournament, this caliber tournament where all these teams are coming in, it is just exciting. It's fun for the sport. It's fun for the fans, and we're glad to be in it.
I wanted to talk about the growth of the sport because I think it has, and you've been around the game of softball for a long time, and as again you played, and then as an assistant, and now being able to take over as head coach. Just talk about the growth of softball, how you've seen it, and how that affects recruiting. As now you get to go out and see softball and bring players to play at Jacksonville State.
Right. What's funny is we just had our 5-year reunion this past weekend, and I was explaining to our team, the growth of just our program. And I played in 97, so I'm dating myself on that, but we used to play with an outfield fence that was an orange net, like that construction netting type offense. So to say we've come a long way since then, we have come a long way. The growth of the sport is just amazing. The administration, what they pour into the sport, and just the fans, the community, because of the fans and the want to watch the sport, they want to be involved in the sport, makes everybody have to step up their game a little bit. So I'm super excited about that. For recruiting purposes, I think it's amazing. We're pulling kids in from all over the nation, and I believe Jacksonville State is a hidden gem. I mean, we've got this beautiful park. We've got this beautiful facility in the foothills of the mountains. And the upgrades that we have had at our stadium, just ourselves, is truly amazing. Now, the growth of the sport is making us push for more and more always. But where we've come from to now, nationally, all over the nation and at Jacksonville State, it's amazing to see and be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. Excited for softball season to crank up this weekend down in Jacksonville, Florida, is where the Jacksonville State Gamecocks will be. First home game, February 12th. That's a Wednesday, as they will host Samford there at Jana McGinnis Field in Jacksonville. Coach Julie Boland joining us. Coach, appreciate your time this morning talking some Jack State softball. We will definitely get you on again soon, but thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chase.
Thank you. That is Coach Julie Boland in her first year leading the Jacksonville State Gamecocks softball team, and looking forward to seeing what the Gamecocks put out on the field this season.